NATO foreign ministers meet in Berlin to discuss Finland's application to join, but Turkey suggests it might veto it.
Ukrainian soldiers continue their counter-attack north of Kharkiv, while the families of the Azovstal battalion appeal to China for help. Ukraine's Kalush Orchestra stormed to victory at the 66th Eurovision Song Contest on Saturday with their folk rap anthem Stefania.
NATO foreign ministers are meeting in Berlin with Finland's wish to join the military alliance on the agenda. Expanding NATO to include a country with a 1,300-kilometre border with Russia would not be welcome in Moscow. And Turkey has warned that it could veto its application.
That's why Turkish people, predominantly, a big majority of the Turkish people, are against the membership of those countries who are supporting PKK, YPG terrorist organization, and they are asking us to block this membership. But these are the issues that we need to talk, of course, with our NATO allies as well as these countries that you have just mentioned.
Finland's military already trains with NATO member forces, and it's well integrated with them, so formally joining would be straightforward. And Finland's foreign minister played down Turkey's objections before the talks began.
Well, I yesterday called to my good colleague Mevlut Çavuşoğlu, the foreign minister, and a little bit to take the tensions down, and we will also meet today, and I'm sure that we will find a solution to this item.
Like Finland, Sweden was neutral during the Cold War, but in the next few days it'll also announce whether it wants to join NATO.
A living hell on earth. Russian troops continue to drop bombs in the besieged Azovstal steel plant in Mariupol, where a small group of Ukrainian fighters have been battling for their lives. After almost 3 long months inside the sprawling complex, the battalion's family members are calling on world leaders, including China's premier, to intervene and lead evacuations. This wife of a serviceman says, "We asked Chinese President Xi Jinping to show great love, great concern for world values and great Eastern wisdom, to join the rescue of the defenders of Mariupol." While Azovstal's defenders say they believe they are close to the end, high-level diplomatic negotiations, while painstakingly complex, have produced some positive outcomes. A convoy between 500 to 1,000 cars were finally given permission to leave the devastated port city, Mariupol, by the Russian military. The displaced civilians arrived at the Ukrainian-held Zaporizhzhia on Saturday. Meanwhile, Zelensky's soldiers continue to reclaim towns north of Kharkiv, Ukraine's second-largest city. However, Moscow's defence ministry says Russia hit over 200 Ukrainian facilities on Saturday, including 6 command posts. As Russian troops retreat north, Ukraine soldiers continue the grim task of recovering the remains of Putin's servicemen killed in battle. Officials say they uncovered at least 41 bodies from villages near Kharkiv on Saturday.
One of the many unwanted consequences of war is the disruption of all aspects of daily life. Scenes like this one have become increasingly common, not only here in Odessa, but also in other parts of southern Ukraine, where there is an acute shortage of fuel. Many residents say sometimes they have to spend days looking for petrol.
Out of the 5 gas stations I went to today, only this one has petrol. We paid online for a certain volume and then came here to fill up.
Because we need to work, I sometimes have to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and look for a petrol station. That's the situation in our country. What can I do? It's not our fault, it's not the government's fault. That's why I think we have to be understanding. We went to petrol stations all day yesterday and I couldn't find gas. Today my friends told me there was fuel. Life is hard. We don't have work. Rockets fall. We're on pins and needles because we don't know where they'll hit. Now I work as a taxi driver, but work is scarce. I don't know what to do. We wait for this to end in victory. Glory to Ukraine.
The Ukrainian government says it is working to fix the problem by establishing new supply lines by the end of the month of May. Until then, residents here will have to be patient. But many say they understand these are exceptional circumstances and are ready to do everything in their power to help support their country. Annelise Borges from Odessa in southern Ukraine for Euronews.
Lebanon goes to the polls today amid the worst financial crisis in decades, as well as deep economic and political instability caused by spiralling costs of living and political stalemate. Rolling electricity blackouts and hyperinflation, with the Lebanese currency losing around 90% of its value, are all in the minds of voters as they take to the polls. Taha Masarani took over the family electrical goods store in Tripoli in North Lebanon. While his business is doing okay, he says the government is doing nothing for the people.
Government. Pure government. Nothing to blame but the government and most of the people. Because we let them rule us for a very long time. We haven't seen anything positive about them. Nothing. No evolving, no education, no care, no child care, child support, no nothing.
It's also the first time the Lebanese have voted since the devastating explosion 2 years ago in the port of Beirut here behind me. Over 200 people were killed, thousands were injured, and many more thousands were displaced or lost their livelihoods. People I've spoken to say the lack of a full and proper investigation is typical of the inertia in the political system.
We lost hope. We had some kind of hope with the explosion due to and especially it's been 2 years ago, and we still don't have the answers. And we had other explosions. It's like in 2005 and others.
The Lebanese political system is complex and based on dividing religions. A voter's choice of candidate is predetermined based on their religion, and there's little motivation for the sides to work together.
The one I want to vote, I cannot vote because of my religion, because he's not on he's not the same. He doesn't have the same religion as I.
Meanwhile, an EU election observation mission has been underway since March to assess the validity of the ballot. Shona Murray, Euronews, Lebanon.
Polish striker Robert Lewandowski says he is ready to leave Bayern Munich. While the 33-year-old's contract doesn't expire until June of next year, Spanish giants Barcelona are reportedly preparing to offer the football star a 3-year contract. The announcement comes as Lewandowski scored his 35th goal on Saturday for Germany's Bundesliga. After a tense night of voting, Ukrainian folk rap band Kalush Orchestra are the winners of the 66th Eurovision Song Contest. The bookmakers' favourite claimed the top spot in Turin in the early hours of Sunday morning after receiving a whopping 631 points in the final count.
At the end, Ukraine won the 2022 edition of the Eurovision Song Contest in Turin. All predictions made turned out as expected, and the Kalush Orchestra brought home the win. After 3-hour competition, 25 artists in the running, the jury and especially the televote decided to award the band representing a country at war.
Representing the UK, TikTok star Sam Ryder came in second with his glittering pop ballad Spaceman, after wowing the jury in the first round of the vote.
Sam Ryder was next to the victory. Disappointed.
Can you believe it? Way better than we thought. So we're so happy. He was amazing. Yeah, we're proud of him.
Spain stunned the audience with a jaw-dropping performance from Chanel Terrero Martinez. The supporter says, "I think Ukraine deserved the victory. We are in a very delicate moment, and even though Eurovision should not be political, I think on this occasion, personally, the win is fair. And in any case, I'm Spanish and would have liked Chanel to win." While the conflict in Ukraine rages on, the winning song Stefania served as a rallying cry for the war-torn country. Ukraine's President Zelensky praised the winners on Telegram with the words, "Our courage impresses the world, our music conquers Europe."